If you've seen any of my previous Waffle Flower Postage Collage Collection videos, you know I am a huge fan of that collection. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel, and in today's video, I'll be sharing a new Postage Collage Stencil. It's from their Snow Fun collection, which is really adorable, has snowmen, frosty trees, beautiful sentiments, and so much more. But you can use it for the holidays and beyond in winter greetings cards. So first, let me share with you the new supplies that I'll be working with today. Before we take a look at the new supplies, I did want to remind you, if you haven't used it yet, I have a one-time, one per customer, 10% off your entire order at waffleflower.com. Just use coupon code Rebecca. Okay, first up, let's take a look at the new Postage Collage Snowy Stencil. This is a snow-themed and winter-themed postage collage. You can see that there are mountains, there are cardinals, there are pine trees, and everything on the stencil gives you a guide as to what color and what darkness you should use for a great look. Next up, we have the Frosty Panel Die. This is an A2 panel die, cuts out these gorgeous snowflakes. And we have Snowcapped Tree Die. There are two different sized trees and the two stumps, and I'll show you how to make them snow-capped looking. There's also the Snow Cheers Sentiments bundle. I love that you can get the dies, and you'll see that there are little numbers that tells you which die to use. Next up, we have the Gifting Snowmen Die. That's two different snowmen and little presents that they give each other. Now let's use those new items from the Snow Fun collection to make some cards. This first card, I have an A2 piece of white cardstock on my Waffle Flower grip mat on my glass mat, and I'll place the first stencil from the Postage Collage Snowy Stencils and use some of the Waffle Flower detail blending brushes to add some color. So I love that the stencils give you guides as to what you're actually coloring in, because when you just look at one of the layers of the stencils, sometimes it's hard to tell what you're coloring, but they tell you this set is the skies and this one is a lake and things like that. So they'll also tell you if there are two layers for one item, like for the trees, there's a medium color and then a darker color. So these stencils really give you a lot of guidance as to how to color them in. I always love using the Distress Oxide inks and then those Waffle Flower detail brushes so I can get lots of different colors on my postage collage and create a really colorful card. There's a little branch there. You can see where it says medium, and then there are these pine trees. So I'm using a bunch of different Distress Oxide inks to color in this collection. It does not have to be holiday themed. It can just be winter themed, but you can definitely make it holiday themed if you want. Next layer here, we're going to add in some of the trees to this mountain range area, and we'll also add trees to this other mountain. You can see I have two different colors for the mountains, some grays and some purples, and then rustic wilderness for the dark color of the green. And then I've added a little dark brown for the little log cabins in the snow, which are just so adorable. And I saved the little chimney spot for red as well. This is the Postage Collage A2 die, so I'll use that to cut this out. And when it cuts it out, it will cut out that postage look. That's why I love that die. It's great to have for all of their stencils that come that you can use with Postage Collage. Next up, I'll take a white gel pen and add some white gel pen details, and then I'll take that sentiment set and die cut out a sentiment. I'll pop up the Postage Collage. When you do cut it out, it is smaller than A2 so that you can have that mat around it, which looks really nice here in red to call out the red of the birds. And then I'll pop up the Merry Christmas right in the center. Next up, I'll use the Frosty Panel Die and I'll die cut out a piece of gold cardstock. Now, I've already cut my cardstock down to an A2, so I'm just making sure that the cardstock sits inside the lines of the die, and then I'll be able to cut it out perfectly. Next, I'll flip it over and use a little bit of liquid adhesive all around so that I can adhere it down to an A2 piece of white cardstock. Then I'll treat some white cardstock with anti-static powder tool, and I'll stamp one of the Snow Cheer sentiments in Versamark embossing ink and pour some Hero Arts gold glitter embossing powder on top. I love this embossing powder. It has both a gold embossing powder and glitter added to it, so it has a lot of shine, and I'll just heat set that and then use the matching die to cut it out. I'll pop that up on some foam strips and place it right in the center of that frosty gold panel. I don't think you need anything else, but you could definitely add sequins or something else if you'd like. Moving on to the Snowcapped Tree Die. So I've cut out both sizes of trees out of white cardstock twice. One of these sizes of each of them, I'm using some mowed lawn and a detailed blending brush from Waffle Flower to color in the tree. I don't have to color it all. I just need the parts that look like pine leaves, so little lines. And then the way that the die cut is created, there are little clip lines where you can just cut out the pieces that you need very easily. And this way you can layer them on top of each other, and it's only one die, but it makes it really easy to combine two layers together. So there are just little spots where the sides of the die cut are connected, and then there's a lot of opening in the center, which makes it really easy to just clip those edges, and then you have the piece that you need. So next I'll take the white tree that I have and I'll put some liquid adhesive on the areas where you can still see the pine leaves. So the rest that is smooth, that doesn't have those little die cut lines, that is the snow. So then I'll just add the greenery in, and then it looks like a snow-capped tree. I'll do the same exact thing for the larger tree here. I have some of the liquid adhesive just on the places where the tree is going to still retain its greenery, and on the rest of it is those areas where the snow has collected on the tree. Makes it really, really easy to create this two-layer effect with your die cuts. There's also stumps for both of the trees. I cut those out of some craft cardstock, put a little dot of liquid adhesive at the top of the stump, and then lay the tree right on top of that liquid adhesive and just hold it in place for a few seconds as it really dries. I decided I wanted to add a little something to the snow aspect of the tree, so I'm adding a little bit of liquid adhesive to those white parts of the tree where there is snow, and I have some Simon Says stamp Unicorn Dust fine glitter. This is the only glitter that I own because glitter gets everywhere, but I really love this glitter. It is very fine, it's very iridescent, and it just adds such a nice shine to any die cut, but especially the snow here. Next, I'll take that Frosty Panel Die and cut it out of some light blue cardstock, add a little bit of liquid adhesive behind that, and then place it on an A2 piece of white cardstock. I really think that no matter what color of cardstock you use for that snowflake panel die, it's going to look pretty amazing. I've stamped out a sentiment that says "Sending Winter Cheer," and I'll pop that up on the snowflake panel background, and then I'll pop up both of the trees next to each other towards the bottom of the card. And I'll just, of course, wait until that glitter and liquid adhesive dries, but it doesn't take too long, and look at all that sparkle and shine that the snow has on those trees. I love that Frosty Panel Die so much that I wanted to try to emboss it. So I have this sandwich where you can just emboss it with that rubber embossing mat in the universal plate system for Spellbinders, and most of it did really just emboss, and so I'm adhering it down to a piece of white cardstock to make sure none of those little dots fall out. So I put liquid behind it, liquid glue behind it, and then adhered it down. Now this little set is the Gifting Snowmen set, and it's so cute. There are two sizes of snowmen. There are scarves, hats, gloves, little carrot noses. They're just so cute. To create the eyes, I just flip them over, put a little adhesive on the back between the eyes and around the eyes, and then just put a small strip of black cardstock. And that is an easy way to just have those eyes not be open. And then I had two different color combinations for both the hats and the scarves so that we would have two different looking snow folks. And the presents that they're going to give, they have kind of the box and then a lid and then a bow. So I created the boxes and the lids out of red cardstock, cut those out, and then I cut out the bows out of gold and silver mirror cardstock. Really, really cute and so easy to put together, these pieces. The mittens come two pieces so that you can layer them on top of each other so that you have that little scruff on the wrist of the snowmen, and then you can have them holding the little gifts so they're giving them to each other. I've stamped warm wishes and frosty kisses from that sentiment set and die cut it out. I'll just pop that up. Now there is a freebie this month with $25 or more purchase at Waffle Flower with a coupon code. It will be on the website so that you can see what the coupon code is. So it's this little snowflake die. So they are absolutely beautiful little snowflakes and such a great little die to add to this collection. I added a few white gel pen details to the die cuts, but I just love how cute those little faces are. In my last Waffle Flower video, I didn't get a chance to use the Random Stars stencil, so I did want to use it now. This is the die cut from the star pop-up background die, and I've placed it on my Waffle Flower grip mat and then placed the Random Star stencil on top. It matches up perfectly. And then I'm using some of the blending brushes from Waffle Flower to blend some Kitsch Flamingo, Tumbled Glass, and Shaded Lilac. And once you peel that up, you can see how the pop-up works. Those stars can get folded up on the sides so that it makes them look very dimensional. I have that little snowflake die again. I've cut it out of silver glitter and white cardstock so I could layer those up. I've stamped warm wishes and cut it out, and now I'll just fold up a whole bunch of these stars. You don't have to do every single one if you don't want to. I didn't. And then just place liquid adhesive on the places where you're not folding up. I've popped up the sentiment in the center, and then I have all three of those glittery snowflakes around. I think these stars really work well with this collection as well, and those are still available. I know many of you are big Postage Collage fans as well, but I'd love to hear what you think of the new stencil. Let me know in the comments below. As always, I want to thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. So cute. No, stop this. Hair in my mouth. Many of you are big okay. Spit it out.